Whoops. Yeah, but, like, this game, like, sometimes when I block, it literally works independently from the roll function, and it's gotten me hit on more than one occasion. And it's really frustrating.
Something's coming.
Oh, is this the bitch with the pole? Is this the stripper boss? Hot stripper boss? It is the hot stripper boss! Sick. Alright. So, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen Lethal fight this boss a little bit, so I have kind of an idea of her moves, but I don't know the telegraphs for them at all. I know she inflicts slow, or whatever the fuck, so that might be complete AIDS, but hopefully this won't be too terrible. Alright. Don't think I'm gonna go easy on you just because you're a hot stripper dancer, bruh. She's gonna beat my ass, huh? I'm gonna regret saying that in like 5 seconds.
Where to get started?
Okay. AoE. Alright. AoE? No? Alright. Oh, that's really delayed. That was a boss? Okay. What's up, Stanchy? How's it going? Did you see how well I did, Stanchy? Did you see that? I'm actually good at this game. I've been playing bad the whole time on purpose, Kappa. That was actually really not that bad. That was like really easy. Although I feel like I did a lot of work in that fight, and I feel like I dodged her moves really well. I think there's only one move in that fight that I think really would have fucked me, is I think the, when she, like, comes out of the, slidey move and does that really, really telegraphed, like, slow-ass sweep, I would have gotten clipped by that so many times.
I'll be back.
No, you won't.
Sorry, but it's time.
You won't be back because you're dead, kid. That's what happens when you die. Game over. GG. You're gone. Done. Dead. Dusted. Gone. Dead. Whatever. Got to see the last little bit? Yeah. So the area was actually much worse than the boss. That boss actually seemed, like, really manageable for, like, the moves that it does. The big splash AoE where it dances and throws water all over the place, that was kinda easy to dodge. The only way I can see that being really bad is if you don't have stamina to be able to dodge through all of it. But that didn't seem horrible at all. There isn't really any hard bosses in co-op. The AI scale with your level and pretty tanky. And they heal you a dumb amount. And most of your buffs, is if you buff their weapon, is also buffed. I feel solo is pretty tough, but co-op is too easy. Should make it with a more balanced difference. I don't know, man. The flower bitch kicked my ass like 3 times. And like how much damage I was doing to her. Like I was like... What was I using on the flower bitch? I was using like a +2 sword. And I was doing like no damage to her at all. I was, like, literally doing, like, maybe 100 damage a swing, which was, like, nothing. And then I swapped to this big dick hammer, and, like, now I'm, like, wrecking things, so I don't know. I thought the hammer would be slower, but it doesn't seem like it's tied to whatever weapon class you use for, like, rolls and stuff, so I'm confused. I don't really know how the game does stuff yet, so I'm kind of trying to learn as I go. But the flower bitch killed me like 2 or 3 times, and then I got her on the 3rd or the 4th try, I think. I think I beat her on the 3rd. Well, for example, a butterfly, though. You were on her 3 attempts in co-op. Donnie wrecked a hardcore no-hit runner and skilled challenge runner when he did solos on butterfly for over an hour. Well, it's not even that... It's not even that her moves were hard. I kept getting clipped by bullshit, and I found that, like, the way I learned in the fight, if you go back and you watch my previous VOD, how quickly I learned her attacks, I don't think she would have been a problem. But having a boss that does a poison debuff as the second boss you fight is kind of AIDS. Like, that's really, really shit, in my opinion. And they could have gauged that a little bit better and placed her a little bit later in the game, so you have health to mitigate the damage over time. But yeah, if you go back, I learned from her attacks really quick. And I found when she does, like, the little serpent move and flies across the room, there were times where I'd avoid it, fine, and then I would get hit by, like, aftermath of it that I couldn't see, and that was kind of pissing me off. Because her heals at that part of the game are so minimal that you only have, like, 2 or 3 heals on you. So if you just get clipped by bullshit, that pretty much determines whether or not you're going to make it through the fight or not, no matter how good you dodge things. Because if you just happen to get clipped by the poison, you're just fucked.
What was all of that?
So I think that's kind of shit design. Not that the boss was bad, I think it was placed in a bad place.
She's losing
Like, I don't think it was placed very well. God damn it. The only thing this girl has done since she's gotten here is take my shit. Yeah, just bring her back to the base, yeah. Just go to a missile and teleport there. Save yourself the run back. Yeah, so, the Despot dude, I did a really good job at dodging, but the 2 little white dudes that followed me around all the time literally just kept me from healing or doing much of anything, and that was kind of annoying. Everything is no rollable in Butterfly, though, and yeah, it's a learning curve. The Butterfly wasn't really that much of a learning curve, because, like, I've seen you play this game, but I didn't remember any of the boss animations or, like, the moves. The only thing I really knew with the stripper bitch was the slide move and the, water thing, where she, like, shoots water blasts out, so I knew to stay away from that. But other than that, like, it's all new, pretty much. Like, I've seen the priest dog a little bit, I've seen the fat thing with the axe, because I remember you trying to no-roll it. I feel like, honestly, the only thing that's really fucking me in this game so far are, really, really quick attacks that I can't gauge, the speed of, or react fast enough to. And,
Are you there?
sometimes the button input when I want to dodge certain things fucking me. But I think I've only had, like, what?
Let me go with you.
I had 2 deaths on the, flower boss, or the butterfly, or whatever the fuck it was. I had 2 deaths on that.
Sleep so late, you know.
And then I had 1 death on a fat thing. And then I fell. Like, Lethal, get this. I don't know if you've experienced this yet. But literally, I fell, and Lewis was with me, and he revived me from critical fall damage. He revived me from literally critical fall damage. Like, I fell and died. Even when I was being careful, I fell and died. But he revived me from death. From fall damage. Which I didn't expect, so. Oh, am I playing as her now? Oh, no, I guess not. This area is really pretty. Damn, holy shit. They can revive you from any kind of death? Yeah, that's kind of convenient.
I want to keep me as safe.
It's kind of convenient, but I was kind of surprised, I'm not gonna lie, when I fell and he revived me. I was kind of like, this guy is MVP, like, honestly. Alright, so this next boss, I'm gonna fight without Lewis, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna agree with Lethal here. Like, I want a little bit of a challenge from this game, and I feel like the butterfly chick offered that a little bit. But I had Lewis with me, and that's probably why I beat her so quick. But the weapon I was using was doing, like, no damage to that boss, so I don't think I was going to be able to beat it by myself anytime soon, purely because of the damage I was doing.
A dream?
Despot, I feel like I could have gotten by myself, like, no problem, honestly. Oh, those bosses are a solid 10 to 20 times harder solo, honestly. I don't know, man. I seem to be dodging them pretty consistently. The only time I don't dodge consistently, a lot of the time, is when the button doesn't respond. Like, I seem to be able to gauge enemies pretty quickly and learn what to do pretty quickly. All the AoEs in this game have been pretty telegraphed and easy to recognize, so I don't feel like I've gotten too fucked by those. The tracking is way different, Solo.
What
Oh, I see.
that means.
Like, I don't know, like, from what I can tell, just, like, out of experience so far, is the NPCs don't get a lot of damage off, but they provide a lot of time for you to heal and be able to take care of yourself and manage your health reserves and shit like that. But they don't seem to do a lot of damage. So it's literally just for taking a bit of aggro off some of the time. Seems to me what it is. But I feel like if I would have been using this hammer on the flower bitch or on the butterfly, I would have done a lot better, and I probably would have been able to do it solo sooner. But the weapon I was using was not very good. It was not doing very much damage. Also, now I understand the ability inheriting a little bit better, which I didn't understand before. So now I'm using different abilities from different blood codes on my blood code. I really gotta learn how that works and learn what abilities I want to have and what I don't want to have and figure that shit out. But I'm basically trying to get the mechanics of the game down pretty much. I understand the
Try here.
focus system where if you dodge enemies perfectly you get more focus, but I don't know what focus does.
You know the statue of the
I know enemies also get focus, but I don't know how they get it. Or if they just get it by taking damage. Like, I don't know if it works differently from the way you gain it. But I have no idea. Yeah, Dupree, I thought I saw you. How's it going, man?
Are you sure you
Hello?
should be up and about?
We're playing Code Vein. We've beat 3 bosses so far, I think.
Sorry for causing you so much trouble.
We beat the butterfly bitch, we beat the despot guy in one try, and we just killed the water bitch. We beat the water bitch, like, insanely fast. Water bitch was really, really, really easy. And I feel like I avoided her really, really well for what I did
There's a
in that
favor
fight.
I'd like to ask.
So, that's part of the learning curve of the game, is being able to learn how to judge and gauge the boss attacks and react accordingly. So, I feel like I did pretty well on her. Despot, I didn't do that well on.
Please, it's really important to me. I'll pay you back, I promise.
So, the Despot guy, I basically got gangbanged by the 2 additionals.
I'd love to tell you.
And I really couldn't hit the boss. I couldn't do anything. I had to focus on them, and that's kind of bad, IMO, but whatever.
Sealed off by miasma.
It's not bad that they add additionals to a fight. It's bad because of how much health they gave
I don't
them.
mean to make demands of you.
Because, like, literally each of them took me, like, 6 hits to be able to kill, so that was kind of dog shit, but whatever. Because Lewis was off hitting the boss while I was dealing with the 2 idiots. Also, your NPC can die, and I've never healed the NPC. Because, from what I've experienced, I've needed every single one of my heals. But, honestly, I think that area was worse than the boss it was, honestly. It was way worse to navigate. The enemies were really, really shitty in that area.
I'm glad to
Especially
do
the
what
red
I
and
can
blue
to
dude. The red and blue bug dude was fucking
as long
AIDS.
as I end up
But
reaching
whatever.
my destination.
Works the same for them as you, framing an attack or taking damage. Can enemies actually iframe attacks in this
To
game?
have you along.
Because I didn't know that. So if I know that, that might change the way I play a little bit. I might judge a little bit safer.
Well, great. I guess that's settled then. You are now officially.
Are we just gonna forget that she holed us at gunpoint?
Friends?
I'm Yakumo. This brainiac.
She
here
pretty
is
much
Louis.
held me at gunpoint, so, I mean,
Huh?
I don't know.
Where'd Murasame and Io get to?
I'm here too, asshole. Come on, Yakumo, dickhead.
If that's okay.
Oh, don't worry about the main
It is.
character, bro. Just ignore her. It's nobody.
Actually,
Alright, thanks.
I don't think we've gotten your name
Dick.
yet.
If I want a challenge, get rid of the partner. Tell you guys what, from this point on, I'll get rid of the partner, and if I run into an area where I keep getting fucked, like, endlessly, I'll just get it back again to get through the area.
Sure did a number
And,
on
we'll fight a few bosses without it, so.
Seriously, that really hurts.
I honestly don't feel like I'm being carried by the AI, but I feel like the way I engage stuff and the way I learn from stuff, I've genuinely just learned really quickly, and I've adapted really well for what the game has had to present. But the AI does do a little bit of damage, and he heals me when I die, so. The Despot fight, I almost ran out of heals. In fact, I think I did run out of heals, and I would have died if I took one more hit from anything, pretty much. And the butterfly bitch was really bad too, and I barely won that fight. But the stripper bitch I feel like I would have been fine on. Because I was doing a lot of the DPS, let's be honest. I was doing a lot of the DPS there, using my buffs and, like, doing my triple strike or whatever. The AI does a lot more than you think. It's weird, honestly. Also, every AI has an automatic buff they apply on you whenever you go into combat, so you're buffed most of the time without realizing it. Well, I'm buffing myself anyway, Lethal. Like, I'm using my weapon buffs, like my gifts or whatever they're called. But yeah, if you guys want me to get rid of the NPC and play it for a while, I'll see how I do without the NPC, and we'll see how hard the game is if I don't use the NPC. All buffs stack infinite times? Yeah, my friend was telling me the same thing. He said the buffs are pretty much limitless, so...
Look at all this stuff.
But honestly, I don't think one little attack buff from an NPC is gonna change whether or not I beat the boss. From what I can understand, the way they have the bosses in this game. Personal space, lady.
She's like that with everyone. Just smile and nod and it'll be fine.
Yeah, but like, I was using like, okay. Like, I wasn't...
Now, those aren't for you, EO. We wouldn't want you to get hurt.
That's right. No need to rush recklessly.
Alright, well, I'm pretty sure, like, okay. With my hammer, like, I understand I have the I-core. The I-core limits my buff use, right? So there's probably an ability or a blood code gift or an ability or whatever that regenerates your I-core over time and allows you to buff and stack buffs, but I don't have the ability to do that yet. So basically, whatever buff the AI is giving me, which is probably just a little bit of attack power, I'm basically using my damage buff for my hammer. I forgot what it's called, and then I'm using the buff that makes your next hit stronger. And then I'm using the triple combo, or whatever skill that is. So, that's all I'm using right now. Using the AI is fine to get more used to the combat and the mechanics. That's mostly what I'm doing it for. Like, I feel like I need to learn the focus gauge more, and I need to learn, like, when I need to dodge specific attacks. The only thing that's really gonna fuck me up in this game, from what I can tell, is circle not working when I input it sometimes, and me getting hit by bullshit, and really delayed swings. Really delayed swings will fuck me all the time, because I'm really bad at gauging and judging those, but I feel like everything else I've been able to manage pretty well on my own. Like, for example, when I've been exploring the areas, I haven't really died, honestly. I've died maybe twice in area exploration, so... And that's maybe twice, so... Circle not working must have to do with guarding, because I've never had that happen. Yeah, like, literally how I described it, I don't know if I'm describing it well enough to understand, but it literally feels like sometimes when you're blocking and you press circles, sometimes it feels like they work independently as functions from each other, and you can't do both at the same time, but other times you can, and I don't know why that happens, or if the animation of you blocking hinders your ability to roll in that specific frame, or something like that, because I don't hold up block all the time, because if you hold block, it inhibits your ability to run. So if you try and block and run at the same time, you can only do one of those functions independently from one another. You can't do both. So I'm not going to be blocking all the time so I can run. But when I'm running, and then I switch to blocking to make sure if I get hit, I don't get hit with the full hit, and I can just take it with my weapon, and take a little bit of damage. But, like, maybe the animation of the character going to block when you hold the button down is inhibiting my ability to roll within that specific frame. So that might be it. The block activation animation probably temporarily cancels out a roll input. Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's honestly exactly what it feels like. Like,
I suppose you're right.
I think you're right about that. Or at least I have to put some testing into it, because, like, it seems to be that way. And, like, I wish you could block and roll all the time. Like, it'd be much better of a system, but whatever. So I feel like I haven't done too bad in this game so far, but I don't feel like I've done great. Like, I almost died to Oliver, in the beginning. I was rolling everything fine, and then that really slow overhead slam attack I got hit by, and, I almost died. The butterfly bitch was fucking AIDS, cause putting a poison debuff boss as a second boss in a video game is just stupid. That's... Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad boss design, but they could have given it a different debuff rather than damage over time when you don't have any heals to mitigate it. That just is fucking terrible design, in my opinion. And other than the inputs being shit sometimes when I want to dodge things and I know I push it, and like I know for fact I push it, The game's been really good so far. Honestly, like... Okay, Lethal knows my hatred for Sekiro and how shitty that game is. Literally, I feel like playing through, like, 10 hours of this game has been infinitely better than Sekiro ever was. So, that's good. I feel like this game really, like, adopted an identity of its own, and it isn't just strictly a Souls clone. But it definitely takes inspiration from it in certain aspects. And, I feel like it has enough identity to feel like a new experience, but also familiar to people like me and Lethal who are experienced Soulsborne players and stuff like that. So, I feel like this game is really good for being its own thing so far. I've really enjoyed, you know, the enemies, like, all seem very different from one another. And, the variety seems pretty good so far. One other complaint I have, honestly, about this game, some of the area connectivity makes zero fucking sense. Some of it is really, really, really nonsensical, and, like, I don't understand. Let me go to the bathroom one more time really fast, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of leveling so you can see exactly how I level and when I level, and then I'll be back. Alright, so the reason I want to do my leveling on screen is so people don't think I've gone off and just grinded a fuck ton and killed, like, thousands of enemies and gotten absurdly tanky, so I just want to make sure that everything I'm doing is, like, you know, people have a gauge of how strong I am or what stuff I'm using, so, like, this I'm just using for ranged combat whenever I need it. My hammer's at +3. I'm using whatever this is. These are my abilities. This is the one that ups my damage. And this is the one that ups the damage of my next hit, and then I use this tri-combo. And this is what I was using on the water bitch that, like, really wrecked her health. So the way that works, the way you can use buffs kind of, like, independently over and over and over again, that seems a little bit ridiculous for damage output, and I'm pretty sure if you got some really strong buffs and you just stacked them all on each other at once, you could probably one-shot bosses. So it's kind of Neo-esque in that regard, I guess. But it seems to be of less of a degree than Neo in that regard. Because Neo gets really, really, really RPG crazy. Like, you can do some insane shit in that game if you know what you're doing. But it seems like I have to teleport to a different area to be able to use items so I can level myself. So, with the water bitch dead, I really don't want to go into another area right when I'm about to get off. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna level, and then I'm gonna get off, and that'll be today for Code Vein. And then I'll pick it up next time, which will probably be in, like, maybe 3 days. Because I want to play some more Monster Hunter with my bros. You can one-shot almost every boss if you do it, but honestly, it is a pain in the ass to even do the setups to stack like that. Yeah. Morphing around the blood codes and, like, the different abilities and the different gifts and shit. Okay, just so you guys know, I won't have Lewis next time. Let me tell Lewis to pack his bags and fuck off and go take a vacation. Because, he's done a lot of work. He's done a lot of work. He deserves a break. He's been a really, really good boy so far. I really like Lewis, just, like, out of how beneficial he is. Like I said, I don't feel like Lewis has carried me through the bosses. I feel like I have learned to a bit of a degree, you know? Like, I feel like I've been able to kind of judge and gauge my opponents pretty decently so far. So, like, I don't personally feel like I'm being carried by the NPCs. But, to be fair, I have heard this game is much harder if you don't use the NPCs. And I do want a bit of a challenge from this game, and I don't want to rely on the NPCs all the fucking time. So, I think next stream, I'll do the entire stream without an NPC, and we'll just see how it goes. Part of the reason, Lethal, I was taking the NPC along is because the gank mobs in this are fucking ridiculous. Like, There's times where I'm fighting like 8 enemies at once, and that's just a little bit absurd to me, so. Also, Lethal, do you know if you can use these all at once, like in Bloodborne, where you can just pop several blood echoes or whatever? Like, can you just use these all at once, or do you have to use them, like, one by one? Did a pacifist AI damage only run, and I was just sick of hearing them? Yeah, Lethal's done some insane challenge runs. This is the guy I was talking about. This is the Lethal, so. Alright, go into the menu, and click the use option, and scroll the number up. What? Go into the menu? This menu? Switch display? No. Up top? Oh, L1, R1? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Go to items from the top list. Okay, so open the menu. Go to items from the top list. Okay. Inventory. Alright. These. Oh, alright. Okay. That's a little bit of a weird way of doing it, but thanks, man. That helps a lot. Alright, cool, thank you. That saves me a lot of fucking time, honestly. Yeah, but Lethal, guys, has done some insane fucking challenge runs. This guy is a fucking beast, like, literally. This is the only dude I've ever known to go through all of Bloodborne at BL4 and go to New Game 6. So, like, this dude is fucking crazy. Like, if you're a fan of Soulsborne content, please check out Lethal. He's fucking incredible. He's a really fucking amazing dude. He's really talented, and he has a lot of fucking patience. He's pretty fucking crazy. So, go follow up Lethal. He's really sick. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to make sure I save this, so I don't lose any of my progress, and I don't have to fight the water bitch again. How do I save it? Oh, I have to be at the missile to save it, don't I? Alright. So we'll just save. Yeah, save and return to title screen. Alright, so there you go. I just did my leveling on screen, so you know, like, what my weapon's at. Next time we're gonna upgrade our weapon a little bit. We're probably gonna fight another boss or two, and we're gonna do it all without Lewis. So, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining. Thank you for coming by for Code Vein. And, I'll see you guys later. Who can I host you guys off to, actually? You know what? I haven't said hi to my boy a Hattie in a while, so I'm gonna host you guys off to a Hattie. And, I'll see you guys later. Have a good evening. Thanks for coming by. See you soon. Peace.